On a Tuesday afternoon, welcome to your show, A Magical Land, where anything goes all the time. One of our proudest, I guess you could say, one of the things we're most proud of would be more proper, is that we go live here from 4 to 5 every day, so you know anything can happen. Even when there's birthdays in the house, as we have a birthday today, we would now like to call up to the stage, please, the birthday boy himself. His name is Louis!
Oh, happy birthday!
Get on up
Get
here!
on up here.
Come on now. Come say hi. That's all good. You gonna tag out?
Yeah, I'll take
Matt from all the bands is here because it's Tuesday. Look at this. Look at this. How you doing?
I don't know.
Talking that mic. Get it right in there. Let us know what's up. How's the birthday going so far? How's the day?
Kind of good.
That is not what I want to hear. What did your dad do? Why is it a bad birthday? Did you not buy him any treats yet?
He's got nothing from us yet.
No, that's why. No presents yet. What'd your brother get you?
Nothing.
Okay, come on up here.
Not
Ladies and
you.
gentlemen, we got the brother.
Not you.
His name is Jacoby! Keep holding! Keep holding! Keep holding! Oh, that's tough. Oh, come on, come right in here. Come right in here. Here, you know what? Have this chair. Have a seat there. There you go.
How are you going to pull this off?
I'm just going to stand. So, what did you get your brother for his birthday?
Nothing.
Talk into it. Talk into the mic.
Nothing.
Why did you get him anything? It's your brother.
We didn't have time. I don't know.
You guys, you've been waiting for this moment your entire lives. You're on the YouTube right now. We're celebrating a birthday and you're both going to get shy on us? Talk in the mic. Get in there.
What did you do today, dude?
What was your day like? Talk us through it.
We went mini golfing.
Oh, where'd you guys go?
Bud Rutgers.
Nice.
Yeah.
Heading up to Rutgers. And you let them win, of course, right, Dad?
Yes, because I wasn't there.
Ah, that's a good move. Power move. How'd you shoot?
Decent.
Course record?
No.
No. Okay. Well, that's all right. Can't win them all. How'd you do?
I did pretty good. I came second.
Who beat you?
My grandpa.
Oh, Grandpa Al?
Yeah.
Classic Grandpa Al every time doing his thing. So, what's the plan now for the birthday? Where are we going? What are we doing? Get right in that mic. Get right in there. There you
Probably just gonna.
Win his baseball game.
go. Oh.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go play some baseball, win it. We got an ice cream cake. It has to be an ice cream cake. Do we have an ice cream cake?
You know, we're
no.
having cupcakes with the team, probably.
Okay. Cupcakes with the team's pretty
He
good.
doesn't know that yet, but now he does.
Now we ruined the big surprise.
Yeah, I'm going to go here.
We
No.
suck again. Well done. Anything else you guys want to say? This is your big moment. You're on your show. I know you watch at home all the time. You want to say anything to your friends? Your friends are going to be watching this, you know.
Do some things all the kids are doing, like this thing. Have you seen
What?
that one?
That's the Phil Collins Bam from Trailer Park Boys. Peanut butter and jam!
Everybody's doing
Like
that
that.
these days.
Why?
All the kids.
Is that it? Is that what you guys do?
No, I never did.
Yeah.
You never
I don't
do.
know.
Jacoby says he never does that.
What's the latest swing?
You did it before.
Oh, you're getting called out. Have you done it before?
A
Yeah.
few times.
Okay, so you have done it. All right. Now, you guys got to leave us with something cool, man.
Yeah.
Say something neat that your friends will be like, man, I saw you on your show and it was awesome.
I
Anything.
don't know. Should we sing Louis happy birthday?
Yeah, we can. You want it?
Yeah.
All right, get us started.
3, 2, 1.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Louis. Someone's got to go higher. Happy birthday to Louis. There it is. I don't know much, boys, but I'll tell you, that's probably the best performance we ever had in this show. Great job in there. Really proud of you guys. Enjoy the rest of your incredible day. And that is what we are all about around here on your show, celebrating family. You guys know you can come here anytime you want, hey? You can come on anytime you want. It's real easy, real good.
Can I plug this in or will the whole thing up?
Oh no, you plug it in. You earned that Arkanoid today, buddy. As we have our Arkanoid machine on loan from the Big Boy Museum. Big Boy is our fellow world record holder for NES games. It's very exciting. Hey, look at you. How are you?
Oh, you know, not too bad. It's been a while.
Oh, that was good. That was very well done. Tuesdays around here, we get Uncle Mike and all of his natural products, along with Matt from all the bands. Now, Uncle Mike is on vacation on a houseboat, I believe, right now. Something wild. But he just texted saying, hey, am I coming on today? I didn't want to bug him. I was trying to be like a gentleman, right? Like,
Yeah,
you're on
yeah.
vacation. You don't need to. But if he's texting us, want to check in.
Well, yeah, he wants to be on. It's not like
That's
we're
it.
forcing him.
But you know what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to get a headset. So you,
Ooh, okay.
I'm going to get you one.
I respect that.
You say something funny.
I kind of feel like Garth on Wayne's World when I'm the only one. I'm just like,
I'm having a good
time. Yes. No, things are good. Yeah, it's this is a lot harder than I thought it would be without Gary. He's definitely a confidant. But
How do I turn this?
yeah. I'm just being interviewed by my wife now. But yeah, today I was on another podcast, The Morgue, from in Florida or whatever. So that was pretty cool. I was talking to the guys from this band, Generic Christ, and yeah.
What a
just
name, hey?
Yeah, regaling and talking about old tour stories
There you go.
because they brought me on some of my first tours.
I love that.
All right.
So before we go to Uncle Mike, because we're still just waiting to link up with him, he's there, but we're just getting it all set up. So I want to ask you, what kind of questions did the dudes ask you?
Oh, well, Tony, he's the singer, and he was the guy that was kind of running the, like, Ed, is the singer for Massacre and another band, Monstrosity, which is like a seminal Florida band. Like, I think I was telling you before, Corpse Grinder Fisher
Yes.
came from that band,
Yes.
and there's other guitar players that have went into bands like Deicide. Anyways, yeah, Tony was holding the interview, and he did his research where he's like, and in 2019, you guys were, on this, and you did this lead solo. I'm like,
Don't you love how people
did
can
you
find that
know
out?
that?
I
I
know.
couldn't believe it.
I
But-
always laugh when guys do that because I'm such an opposite. Like, I never prep for my interviews.
Well, yeah,
you know?
it's and I'm kind of I like it that way
Well,
because
yeah, 'cause it's the Joe Rogan thing, right? He
Yeah.
says it all the time. I want to be
Yeah.
the listener, or I want to be the viewer. I want to go in and ask the questions that you at home would ask.
Yeah, and it's not that I knew what I was going to be asked, but he had a pretty specific, like and then in 2009, you had this guitar player, and yeah, he like knew about Noel and Haynes
Oh,
and
man.
all this stuff.
Shout out to
and
Noel
yeah.
and the boys. Yeah, was it overwhelming a bit?
It kind of felt cool because he like highlighted a lot of like the big things in my career, and when
That's
you hear it all in like back to back, you're kind of like, you know what?
I've done some
It's
stuff.
not that
Right?
ain't that bad when
Yeah.
you think like Eddie Murphy when he was talking about Party Out the Time. When you think about it, it ain't that bad. That's like my career.
My Matt likes to party all the time, party all the time, party all the time.
time.
Shout out to Eddie Murphy.
Oh,
What a good song. Yeah, I see. I've had conversations with people before about basically doing like a biography of my life. And it's like instantly you're like, 'cause
Yeah,
you're probably
give me-
like,
yeah,
come on,
give me a
you-
break.
Like,
Yeah.
I've done nothing cool. And then when you sit down and someone tells you all of these accomplishments and things that you've done, you're like, oh, wait a minute, maybe I have done
Yeah,
some things.
it
It's
did
weird,
add up.
right?
It
It's a
did.
weird way to discover yourself again.
Yeah, he was bringing up, like how I was on that Glenn Drover's Walls of Blood, and then, he's listing off, it's like, oh, it's got Todd Latour from Queensryche, and, Ripper from Judas Priest, and Testament to like Chuck Billy and stuff, and it's like I'm on an album with that, or I was doing the touring of this or that, just all these stories, and I thought about it. It's like, oh, and in blah 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 2012 you were nominated for this, and you were. And I was like, oh yeah, and
That's
we got
so cool,
we got
man.
flown to this award show, and I remember that was one where I was like telling him that was when I knew I never wanted to be part of the industry, like all the BS stuff. Where like we went to the Royal York Hotel, and we were nominated for an award, and you go do your little show your backstage pass
Yeah.
like Wayne's World, and you get into the different levels, and then we got into the like. Okay. Yeah, and then you get to the point where, like you're in the back area, and I went to go get a beer, and there was like a bunch of pretentious guys with, like all the hipster stuff, and
Yep.
everyone has a beer. I'm like, oh, can I have a beer there? Like, you have to go to that line. I'm like, but this guy just got one here, and he's like, you're going to have to wait 20 years in the industry for that, or something like that. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm just fine. And I just like never want, from that moment forward, I'm like, I don't care about awards. I
Yep.
don't care about that crap.
Do it
I
for you, man.
care about playing shows,
Yep.
and that's it.
That's it.
And writing music. That's
Okay,
it.
We're going to get more into that because I have a lot of questions. But right now we are going to hit up the Zoom and head on over to, I think he's in BC right now on some sort of houseboat
Oh,
or something,
dirty
living the
dog.
dream. Hey, he's not even sure if it's going to work, so we're going to give it a go because that is what we do here on your show. Dragons on the 1 and 2s today. Let's go see what our good friend, the co-host of the All Out Angst podcast, Uncle Mike, is up to on his vacation.
And show me those pants live in action.
Oh, look at this. Yeah, buddy. Looking good. How you doing?
Hey, boys. Oh, thanks.
You doing good out there? You're on the boat, hey? Is he
Doing
there?
swell on the boat. We actually just finished the hike. I ran.
Yeah, this is what I figured it was going to be. You're in the middle of the lake, and we got a frozen Uncle Mike now. God, he looks good, though.
Your
hey?
silence only incriminates you more, Mike.
To be fair, he did
well-
say he's not sure if it's going to work or not.
I can assure
Sounds
you
like a stutter.
I can assure you whatever's being said is very interesting.
Yes, he's actually saying.
Just
you
to
guys
get
will
here,
not
and
believe.
I've just lost you again.
Oh no, we
Now you're
yeah.
looking good. God, I just love seeing you with your shirt on.
Maybe.
Yeah, we got it.
Hey, that's been my wardrobe the last 4 days.
Oh, nice. But you're not wearing the pants?
Trunks. I'm not wearing the pants. I opted for shorts.
Yeah,
God.
there you go.
You look sharp, dude. I didn't know you were so jacked.
I know. I'm kind of like, man.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can
never
sit
taking
next
my
to this
shirt
guy
off
anymore.
next to him again.
Jeez.
Ah, he's freezing up. I guess this is what happens.
Well, thank you.
You're cutting in and out real bad here. Give us something while we still can before we let you go. I don't want to. You got a water slide.
There's a big water slide.
Oh man, can you take us down?
Do it.
Take us down this. Look at this. Where are you? This is unbelievable. Oh, he's going.
Now we're in the shoe swaps. We just pulled off to dock. We just went up and did a waterfall hike, and then I busted my ass to get back here in time.
Oh man.
But it
that's
is
nice.
it is spotty service, so
No.
but I'm not complaining.
I am so grateful that we've got these couple minutes with you because it looks like you're having the time of your life. Like that looks like a place where I would want to go to retire. Look at that perfect. He always gets the perfect freeze frames too.
I know.
It's balmy.
There he is. There you are. Okay, buddy. We're gonna let you go. Unfortunately, I wish we could stay here and do the scramblies all day, but I don't want to
No
ruin
worries
this
at all.
perfect time you have. Are you going to be same spot next week?
I'm gonna try. We should be a better reception next week because we're actually heading to the island.
Nice.
We won't be on the boat any longer, so it should be a little more reliable to get a good connection.
Perfect.
But
that'll be great. We'll get you on for the whole show then, and we'll party from there. How's that sound?
yeah, I'll try to take you down the slide maybe when we're not chatting, but I'll shoot you a video back and you can
Nice.
experience it.
Hell yeah,
secondhand.
buddy. We love you. We miss you terribly. Have all the fun out there for us. Say hi to the family. And just know that
Will do.
we're repping the podcast hard while you're away. So we got her covered here. Only 2 weeks, though. Any longer, and we're done.
Yeah. Well, I hope you made some progress on the song. I'm excited to come back and see what you've done, and miss you boys too. And thank you for holding down the fort.
Oh, you're the best, buddy. You take care of all the fun.
Good to hear from you, Mike.
Thanks,
from
brother.
BC.
See you, boys.
Man, that was good.
Oh man, that was great.
What do you think of
I
these head?
think
What do you think of these
It's
headpieces?
it's pretty good. I'm a fan, but honestly,
When you wear them every day, they wear on you.
Yeah, it's hard to stay focused after looking at Mike there.
God, how has he been hiding that from us? Hey.
Yeah, I know. It's just classic. Just another thing. What
I feel
can
like
he
he's
do?
at a like secret meeting of the Handsome Gentlemen's Club,
Yeah,
just
but
living it out there.
That was a blessing.
That was fun.
That was awesome. Man.
What if we're gonna have a Tuesday show, we need Uncle Mike in it in some way.
Yeah, I didn't feel quite right about it, like coming in. I know
weird,
we'll
hey?
do it, but yeah, we can move forward now.
We can. And as we move forward, I will say, I want to get back to this podcast that you did. So this was in Florida.
Yeah, so Florida is the podcast, but actually Tony, the singer of the band, he's in Lithuania right now because that's where.
course.
So like it was like Tony was in Lithuania, Ed was in Tampa, Florida, and then I'm in Saskatoon, and like we managed to coordinate it where I had to because it was supposed to be at 12 and at like 9 o'clock today.
time-wise.
I'm like, so right now it's this time where I'm at. Is it still 12? They're like, oh, actually it's 11. So yeah, it was like luckily I did do that. 'Cause-
And to check. Yeah, just time zones in general. As a guy who worked in a business where you had to be aware of different time zones because you booked different guests for shows, They'll get you, man.
Oh, speaking,
They will
I've
flip
got
on
a
ya.
decent story. So when we were doing the that latest Manitoba Metal Fest,
Yes.
and Corey Thomas sends out all of the like kind of Instagram and all of the advertising that you put up when it's announced, and then the bands put it's going live or whatever. So we were told, at 12 o'clock, our day was going live for the 3 Inches of Blood into Eternity, Untimely Demise.
Hell yeah.
And I had sent Murray the stuff. I was like, yeah, at 12 o'clock, we're going to be going live or whatever. But like, I assumed, but probably should have said, wait until like 3 inches, or they do it before we go.
Yeah.
And there was because Murray was going off Central Time and not, the Vancouver,
so easy to mix it
Pacific
up, man.
Time.
So easy.
So Murray had went live with our thing or whatever, and then I'm in my skid steer at work, just clearing snow, and
it's always bouncing.
the phones are connected to it now or whatever, because that's how technology works. So I got a call, like a Facebook messenger call, and it's Corey, the promoter, and he's like, "You guys went live. It's not live for another hour." And he's just like freaking out,
Losing.
like, and Corey's the nicest guy, but I understand he's got a lot of money and blah, blah, blah. And he's like, they haven't went, you got to take it down. And that's all I hear. And then I'm like, in the skid steer, kind of like, okay, so that went well.
Yeah.
But yeah, so then we had to take it down. But yeah, that's my story about how time zones can get you.
And man, it's always so embarrassing too, because it's such a simple thing, but you never think of it.
And then
you
you throw in a little time change here or there,
Yeah.
or daylight
when you
savings,
really
and
get
then
it.
then
especially around here when we don't change.
yeah,
So
it's-
everything just goes and like you have to mark those like turnovers on a calendar.
which I'm not gonna do. And I haven't, nor will I ever do that. So that kind of sucks.
That's a great example of how it works. And so you get everything together and you get on this show,
Yeah.
and they're running off all of your accomplishments. What were you talking to them about?
Well, like with regards to like my answers.
Just the conversation as a whole, because that one part was about you, but like when it went away from everything you've done, now that like, did you get a chance to talk?
Yeah, well, it was kind of cool because me and Ed, the very first introduction, Ed is the singer of Massacre and now of Monstrosity.
Yes.
But in 2013, we'd played a Chuck Schuldiner birthday bash. This is the guy that, the Death frontman.
Yeah.
He's since passed away, and I believe it was 1998 or 9. But there was like a birthday bash where bands play, Death
Their
songs
songs,
or
yeah.
whatever.
Like
And
in honor of them, yeah.
Massacre was brought
Yeah.
in from Florida, and this is the first time they had played Canada, I think, ever. And they did a couple songs. And we had played that night. It was great. And then the next night, because we had the same lawyer, Eric Greif, who's since passed away, unfortunately, as well. But we had the same lawyer, kind of manager guy.
So you had like a connection
So
there.
yeah, we had played the Edmonton date the night after, Just Us and Massacre. And that night, and we were playing as a 3-piece, and Eric comes up. He's like, "Yeah, you got a new fan, and it's the singer of Massacre. He just loves you guys or whatever." And that was kind of, and he's like, he wants a shirt, blah, blah, blah. And, we gave him a shirt, and he wore it, live
A,
and like
hell yeah.
playing in like South America and stuff. But
That's so
that was like
sweet.
the connection, the birth of that. And that led to us doing the European tour with Massacre, where we did, all that whole thing. And later that year in 2019, we did the Death to All Western Canadian dates. So it kind of, me and Ed kind of had stories, where because there's one thing, I forget which place in Germany, but it was kind of like a summer camp area that's where they had us lodging, and we were like in a room with all these like bunk beds, like you would be at like Redbury
Yeah,
or something.
you're at camp.
And it was just the funniest thing where it's like our driver, Massacre, and Untimely Demise, and we're just all like, in our bunk beds,
Bunk
like,
buddies, yeah.
"Good night, Rick. Good night, Ed." Just kind of like, yeah, it was way more wholesome than you'd think. But yeah,
What's the Tommy Boy? Is it Tommy Boy or Black Sheep? He says, I call the top bunk. And then he falls on him. Great stuff. I think it's Black Sheep.
Yeah, so yeah, we were kind of reminiscing about that, or like Amsterdam, that first night where our guitars and merch didn't show up, and we had went to just the town and kind of did it up or whatever. But yeah, we were kind of just reminiscing about different pubs. Like there was this one cool pub where along the bar there was like cymbals everywhere, so the bartender was always kind of doing finger, and he'd be hitting
Finger
cymbals,
cymbals.
but it was
That's
just
so
kind
sweet.
of reminiscing about some of the
Yeah.
tour stories, or like I had told you about my pay bathroom. Remember the pay bathroom story, or
It's something rings a bell.
okay,
here.
I can do a Cole's notes on
Let's
it, but
hear
yeah,
it.
like we had brought that about basically. After a week of eating, Burger King and stuff
yeah, the good
on the
stuff.
road, and just tons of beer and stuff, and
Great for your
I'm
guts.
jostling between city to city for 10 hours, and we finally make it to the check stop. And everywhere in Europe has pay toilets where you have to have like
so
70
weird,
euro
eh?
cents to get in. And we got there, and I was like, okay, man, I'm just making it, almost
call.
made it there. And then I get there, and I'm like, I don't have any euro cents, so I had to run back kind of to the
And
van.
you're in a red alert right now. Like, you're going.
almost past that.
Yeah,
It's like
we're filling up.
yeah, and then a school bus full of children show up as I'm getting and they all wait in the lineup. So now I had to wait for 30 people to go through this, and luckily I made it through it, and I'm here to tell you the story that there was no accidents, but
not
at
as
the
good of a
time
story,
it
but
was
yes,
it was
you made it.
very difficult, but yeah, just getting to tell lots of stories like that, I think it was fun, and Ed was able to corroborate and vice versa. Oh, I remember
That's what I
this.
mean. Whenever people do interviews like that, where people seek you out and want to talk to you, I'm always interested in what you take from all that, because you're like the interviewee,
Yeah.
and they're asking all the questions, but there's always stuff that you can ask back, right?
No,
And,
totally.
and that's what I mean when I ask, like, was there anything you
It
talked
was
to
cool.
them
And
about?
I was just kind of in awe of some of the guests they've had, because again, they like you kind of book their own talent, and it's like they
just a thing they
yeah,
do, man.
That's what you
Yeah,
do.
entrepreneurial.
But they had guys from King Diamond and like Overkill, and what's that horror that Ed the clown. It's just some like horror movie guy that Aaron was familiar with or whatever that I know, but I'm not
Yeah.
as. But
Clearly.
they're pretty good, decent
That's
caliber.
wild,
So
right?
like I
And
was
then
interested.
you're there.
Yeah, I know. I'm like, and
That's
then I'm
so
here.
cool.
Like,
and,
what the heck?
And
But-
you were talking about the All That Angst podcast.
yeah, absolutely.
that's how they
Yeah,
discovered you.
That's how you do. Yeah, exactly. Like, cause
awesome.
yeah, when we went live on the All Out of Angst,
Every Thursday, by the way,
yeah.
episode 2 dropping in 2
Yeah.
days.
I always do the soft sell, so I'm like, yeah, I'm doing a podcast now. Like, I don't really have the words. If that was going to happen, it would have to be Aaron or Murray that would write something nice
Of
up
course.
about it. So, but yeah, he was like, hey man, you're doing a podcast. That's cool. Blah blah blah. And then he was like, I'm doing one. We should lock horns someday. And I was like, and then he's like, how about tomorrow? But yeah, absolutely. I think that could be a good thing where we could talk to them and
cross promotion,
yeah, and-
man. That's
yeah.
how it builds.
I really, like we did talk to Gary, and he's like, send me some links here. I think he was a little skeptical, like from OWC, but
Yeah.
we'll get him. It's just, yeah.
That must have been weird, though, hey? When you're talking to Gary from OWC? It's like, hey, by the way, we want you to come on this weird show that nobody knows about.
Yeah, and he's like, send me some links. I'm like, well, it's gonna be out. Just wait. But I do remain confident that we'll get him,
yeah.
and then I really do. Yeah, I really do want to get Mike Lefebvre as well. Because
Yes.
then we can talk about all. Like, I really would like to hit in the podcast all of the old, the bands, the different venues. Talk more about Wash and Slosh stories.
Yeah, the
like
history
all
of
of that kind of
venues
stuff
in our
is really
city
cool
here.
because
Hell
we
yeah.
like all of those cool venues aren't there anymore. And
It's like the
and
history of
yeah.
music in Saskatoon.
Yeah, and it's just some of those really cool bands that were a thing for some years and aren't a thing anymore. It's kind of interesting. So I would like to get Mike on. So I'm just
Yeah.
kind of making a mental note about that.
I absolutely adore that you do stuff like this, because for a little station that could type of situation we got here, like we're just going and we're enjoying every second of the ride as we continue to grow. When you bring in people like that and people that are established, it just brings all of us here up because it brings
when
it
one
turns it
person
into a
rises, we
place.
all rise.
Exactly.
But it's cool how it snowballs. I hadn't heard from Tony in over a year,
Yeah.
probably, and then it's
Out of
because
nowhere.
we put up that podcast thing.
There's
Then
a
he
reason to
and now I'm
contact.
and it's just a reason to talk, and
Yeah.
it just then these new opportunities come.
I love it.
And if you didn't answer the call or didn't do the thing, none of them.
None
would,
of it.
that's why I just always say yes
It's so true.
with most things.
Could get you in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
As we hang out on a Tuesday, Uncle Mike is on vacation. We got Matt from all the bands. I want to get Maggie up here. Margaret, come on. Come on up. Take a seat. Take a seat. We gotta say hi to our friends over at Pet Plant. Let's go ahead and hit a fluffy butt for this little rascal. There she is. Look at that. the Maggie Cam for our best buddies over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer. Mike and Rochelle and Maggie's boyfriend Leroy always there to make your day the best day you will ever have, as well as Kirsten, Shar, and Chris during the non-day hours. They're there too to help you out. And actually, Brooksy and I are going there tomorrow. We're going to shoot another exciting edition of Adventures with Maggie, which is a show we started back at the old place, and it's a very fun little, like 1 minute long videos of Maggie like trying on
I've
clothes
been loving
and
the
stuff like
videos
that.
you've been putting
Yeah,
up
man.
lately.
So it's really cool that we can do that sort of thing and bring stuff like that back. So to everybody over at Pet Planet on 8th Street, your pet's natural grocer, Brooks and I will be by tomorrow for a little photo shoot. So we look forward to seeing you. And we got to buy Marge some more food. Sorry, that was some
yeah.
good. How fun is it that that's business? That's taking
Yeah.
care of
Oh
business.
yeah,
hey?
we
Isn't
have to
that
talk
cool?
about puppies. I
Isn't that
feel
awesome?
like she's still a little upset with me, but
No, dude, I told you you were the
okay.
second one.
Okay.
So the thing with Maggie, having a studio dog, is she's a very, very people person dog. So she loves to be in the middle of all the people. And when you're in a studio where like 8 different guys are going around doing different things, she gets in the way a lot.
Yeah.
Her tail got stepped on before you got. Dragon gave her a good stomp.
Yeah, luckily,
It's cute.
like it was just the fur, but either way, I just feel like the worst human being.
The
ever.
worst,
Yeah, like,
the worst I've ever heard her squeal with a tail incident was at the old station. I was coming in from the outside, and as I was coming in, there was a door, and it was closing, and I was walking, and she was right beside me, so we're walking in through the door, and then she stopped right as the door closed on her tail,
Oh.
and it was the loudest. I felt so bad. I was like, "Why did you stop, Margaret? No!" And it was like, like woke up the whole
Yeah,
station.
I've had a.
Like, what'd you do to the dog?
Yeah, I've had that where, because when I feed we've got 3
The
cats.
kitties,
We've got
yes.
Bootsy, Winksy, and Carl. And Carl is the one that he's baby Carl. He's
Baby
the
Carl.
younger, even though he's the biggest, but
Yep.
he's baby Carl. And when I portion out the food on the counter, there's 3 little portions. And Bootsy and Winksy, they wait, but Carl always jumps up on the counter or whatever. That's kind of his thing
Yeah.
to sample it.
Super cute.
But yeah, I had one of the cabinet doors just slightly askew or whatever, and his tail, like it was just straight up
Yeah.
in there, and I went to go close it, and I closed, and you just hear him yelp, and again, just I feel like the worst human
Yeah,
being ever.
feel
And
horrible.
like, yeah,
And you don't even do anything. It's not even your
Oh,
fault.
man.
It's like, why don't these animals have control of their tails?
I
That's what
know,
I'm thinking.
like, come on,
Get it
people.
together, animals.
Well, yeah.
That
But
picture
yeah,
was really good, by the way.
What
I
shirt
like
you
that.
got on right now?
It's my Uncle Mike's shirt.
Yeah, your shirt game's. I'm gonna give it an 9 out of 10. But
I appreciate that.
Erin's she's got a surprise for you. So I feel.
Oh God.
10 out of 10.
Oh my God.
Oh,
What have we got here?
okay.
Jeez, guys. Am I-
Show it
Okay,
off.
Here we go. Here we go. You
Yeah.
guys always come bearing gifts, and I always appreciate
Well,
it.
Erin's a gift
Maggie,
giver.
hey! Did you see that? That's not for you. She tried to take the shirt. Okay, here we go. The unraveling.
yeah,
Oh,
oh, yeah.
God, I love the purple.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah!
It felt your other one was getting a
Look
little.
at this,
Yeah.
you guys. Look at that. There's no holes at all.
You get a couple of years out of that now.
That's amazing. No, I'm putting it on. Thank you so much, you guys.
That's
How
all,
long-
Erin.
Hey, how long until the sleeves come off?
Hopefully that saw comes out.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Man,
Oh, that's awesome.
Isn't it sweet?
Aaron, you angel. Look at that. God, and it's so. Oh. You know, there's something really cool about wrestling shirts and the nostalgia that comes with it.
No, I know.
Like everyone who sees a Macho Man shirt, even if they barely know who Macho Man is, they'll give you an "oh yeah" or "the cream rises to the top."
Yeah, it's
you know,
just,
they'll all
like,
do an impression.
Yeah, like
Everyone
an
loves doing
Iron Maiden
impressions,
shirt,
yeah.
you're gonna make best friends just walking down.
Or a
down.
Slayer
yeah,
shirt,
yeah,
same thing.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, it looks great. You
Well,
you pull off the colors
Thank
so
you,
well.
guys.
So
the colors are perfect, and it's nice too because it's nice and it's a little bit looser on me. While Uncle Mike's shirt is nice and tight.
yeah, because
So
you're
I like-
you
it's-
might are you down
mean?
to a large now or
I think we're getting close, eh?
because this is an XL, right?
You were talking
This-
about putting on weight last time and eating pizza and stuff, so I was like, you're getting an extra.
No, it's perfect, you guys. I love it so much. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
See, I'm never good at accepting presents. I always get all like, oh. I
But
get all
you're like,
awkward.
it's a pretty good present.
I
Sean.
love it.
I'll
That's
take
the
it.
thing, of course. That's what I'm all of. Like,
Your
just
old macho man was looking pretty
man.
Yeah.
It went through the washing machine yesterday, and it has more holes now. Yeah, It's gonna be a curtain on one of the windows here real soon.
Yeah.
Add it to the wall of shirts,
Yeah.
which I'm very excited for.
Ah, that's nice.
Man, we've got a lot done already.
We
Halfway.
have.
We're halfway there.
Yeah, Bon Jovi.
Don't quote the Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
You like that song? Everyone loves Living on a Prayer.
You see, I don't know if I like this song, but all I'm saying is I kind of don't mind the bass line. Like it's
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, like
But
I think the
again-
song used to be so.
Yeah.
It's such a good song, but it's all of the sports teams
Yeah.
took it over and just overplayed
in
it. Like
general,
I always,
most of those bands, whether it be Aerosmith or Queen,
The
or-
biggest of the big.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
they're great, but they only played the certain songs or whatever, and they've been overplayed to death. Where it's like
That's the problem.
it's really tough to want to get into live to that.
Yeah,
type.
like Sweet Caroline, when that became like an
Yes.
anthem in baseball, it's like, man, I don't need to hear that song anymore.
Yeah,
And Living
I-
on a Prayer is
I-
doing the same
yeah,
thing. Like
I
all these
can-
songs that were like okay songs, they turned into.
But yeah, I will listen to the Me First and Gimme Gimme, Sweet Caroline. Like I got
Obviously.
a soft spot for
Obviously.
that.
We'll listen
but,
to any.
But yeah,
Any
I
Me First
agree.
and the
Yeah,
Gimme
just
Gimmes.
with that overplayed stuff, it's pretty tough. And yeah,
It just it wears on me. But I'm also like, as much as we do the All Out of Angst podcast, I also have a lot of angst still. I'm realizing.
yeah, I feel like as
Like, it
soon
should've
as
pissed me off
we
that
cut-
everyone's singing this song at sports
I feel
events.
like we jinxed ourselves, where it's like, oh, we've finally got
finally
through this
got
life.
rid of
We're
all
out of
this.
angst.
Yeah.
We're out, and then it's like, nope, I don't like this. I don't
Just
like that.
jokes.
That whole area
Yeah.
over there, I'm not impressed with.
We were out of it until it sucked us back in,
man,
right?
jeez.
And that's a weird way to look at it.
It is. But yeah, this morning I was kind of prepping for that Morgan, like kind of just going through, like I was listening to, because it was one interesting thing with that solo I did for Generic Christ is apparently the guitar player, they were recording it, and the guy, their guitar player, tried a few times, and it costs money when you're in a studio, and then
Yeah.
they just weren't gonna do a lead. And then that's when Ed's like, or Tony, I think, said, like, why don't you ask Matt if he can just throw
love
one in
that.
on there? And I feel like the guitar player is a little like, it's like someone's playing lead guitar in your band, it's kind
You
of
don't wanna step on
yeah.
toes.
But like, I didn't really know any of this or that going into it, but yeah, I guess.
This is really
yeah.
interesting.
But
to
yeah,
me.
they played the song after I had sent him the solo, and they put it in the song, and he kind of listened to it, and he's like, it's pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
damn
good.
it.
It's good. Yeah.
How do you feel about that when you're the other guy? You're the outside guy, trying to, I guess, contribute to this project that this other band is doing. Like, do you feel any like?
Well, there's always, for me, you don't want to take a dump on their song
Yeah.
because they've got this good song already, and I don't want to, like, you can do some sort of bozo solo where you're being too, into yourself, and it can ruin the song. And again, like, my thing, especially at that time, was like, because they're like Florida death metal, devoid of melody and devoid of this,
hard.
and I'm like, I'm gonna put the most melodic solo into this however I can, and I did that, and they loved it or whatever, because Death did that, where they would put
Yeah.
melodic stuff into the
Absolutely.
heavy stuff, but it was a conscious effort on my part to want to put in super melodic, because you could do, like, there's kind of the go-tos for Florida death metal, like where you do the dive bomb, Noel's dive bombs, where
Yes.
you
Love it.
with the
Yeah.
whammies, that kind of stuff, or just
Take
doing
you
like
deep.
like trills where you're hitting the whammy bar, like just kind of
Different
nonsensey
ways.
noises. But
Yeah.
I didn't want to do that. I wanted it to be like a solo, like a.
God, that would feel so cool to have another band come to you.
Oh, it's,
Hey,
yeah, it's
like-
fantastic. Again, all of those times where you're on a weekend listening to some of the things you did, reminiscing, and you're like, that is really cool. And that's where I say it a million times, you forget about the big failures, and you always embrace the small victories. And when you do that, you're like, oh man, it's so cool. Like, not that like it's like just a band from Florida. It's not like they're the biggest. It's not like I'm playing on a Rolling Stones song or this or that. But it's cool for me, and it makes me happy, and it's cool that like other people, I've been noticed enough that someone from another country would want me to be on an album, or like
That's
Glenn will
what
ask
I'm
me to
talking
do
about.
stuff, and it makes it worthwhile, and it's kind of validating. But-
People are aware of how good you are to the point that they want to add you. They want to add that Matt spice to whatever they're doing. That's
Yeah.
so
And
cool.
ultimately, it's just the hard work, and I'm in there every day, and I'm available every day.
That's
You know,
it.
and I'm like here, I can place, and I want to be part of it. And again, it was that 5 or 6 years ago when I was doing the Shredders of Metal and the band swap and stuff, where I just said at that point, I want to be out of my comfort zone, and I want to do things that that normally give me anxiety, because eventually I'm going to get over that, which I haven't, but it's going to happen.
Eventually. I think that's a battle we all go through. I left the house last night.
Ooh.
I actually left the house. I went out for my good buddy Pistol Pete's birthday. We went over to the Rabbit Hole. And just getting in the car and leaving the house was so hard.
And what about the
So
pre-leaving
hard.
the house, like when you're getting geared up to leave?
Yeah.
Like that's for
Ugh.
me when the anxiety, like
Just
it's
goes.
like it's like, oh man.
I got like out of breath.
Yes,
I was
yes,
like sweating out
yes.
of breath. It's like, no, you can do this. You're just going and hanging out with your buddies. What's the problem?
And that's so weird. But yeah, I will have to where I'll do the in
Yeah.
for 5, hold it, out for 5. Get your
exercises.
and then eventually you get back to where you need to be. But like, yeah, I never thought that I was someone that struggled necessarily with anxiety or different types of anxieties
Mental
and
anguish
yeah,
as a whole, yeah.
But it's there, and as much as I'd like to push it aside, sometimes you do have to.
You gotta power through it.
Yeah, you have to say that it's there, and then move forward by doing whatever you
Yeah.
have, talking about it, doing your breathing, or sometimes you don't go out if it's becoming that
Acknowledge it, then try to overcome.
yeah. But was it a good experience?
It was great. Of course
yeah,
it was.
Yeah.
I got to hang out with buddies in a birthday atmosphere, a new bar. I haven't been to a bar in a long time. That was very interesting too. But just to be able to sit down and just catch up with the boys.
Yeah.
Because I've become so, I guess, enamored. Not even enamored. Well, I guess I'm enamored
Well,
with
you
work
set
too.
up
but
a
I'm
pretty sweet
engulfed with
zone
this.
here. Like, it's
Well,
so
that's the
fun.
thing. I
like,
created all of us created such a safe space in here where anyone who comes in, like, just look at the start of this show. The start of this show is exactly how we want it to be.
Oh, that was perfect. Where we're just saying, hey, and
Get up
some
here, it's
people,
your
yeah,
birthday.
some people, hey, nice to meet
Yeah.
you, and you recognize them from
Yeah,
their
like, you got to meet
segments
new
on the
people
shows.
too,
yeah.
like, and it's just our family here continues to grow, and every single person that's a part of it has been, and I've said this before on this show, 1,000%. I trust my life with everyone that sets foot in this building, and if I don't feel that way, someone here will vouch for you in that sense.
Yes, because I wouldn't even feel comfortable bringing someone in here
Yeah.
unless I know that I'm comfortable with them.
That's it.
So then you would be comfortable,
And my
way down
goal
the
is
line.
for you to understand, you and Uncle Mike to understand this is your home. This is your family. So you can do that because I and everyone else here have 1,000% trust in you and anything that you do because we're all a big team.
But yeah, it's just exciting. Like, again, how I said my favorite part early on in the Untimely Demise is, we would have our MySpace or Facebook, and you never knew, like, you would wake up and there would be like a promoter from Regina. Hey, I've got this band, Evil from England playing. Do you want to be on the bill? You just never, like truth is stranger than fiction. You couldn't predict what
Yeah.
opportunity was going to come. And I find this show is kind of bringing a lot of stuff my way just
Opportunity.
because I did it. Now it's like, I don't know what tomorrow's going to bring, and it's really
It's
exciting.
so
It's
exciting.
freaking exciting.
Nailed it.
My
Well
mom ran a licensed daycare for like 25 years, so I'm used to saying "dang old," and I can
Fun words.
hold the cussing
Yeah.
pretty good.
I'm actually quite proud of how little we cuss around
I-
here because we could if we wanted.
And
We could
you
be
know what?
sailors.
That's been done. Everyone's got that covered.
Get it.
Like with metal, everyone's had the speed competition covered, so that's why Untimely. It's like we're not going to win that, so that we're going to go into some other
Pivot.
yeah,
Always pivot.
Absolutely.
You said something that really piqued my interest when you talked about places and promoters that are putting shows on, seeking you out. Is that how the process works? Like they got a band and they just pick and choose who they think would be a good opener for said band?
Well, often it is a case like that because, there'll be like the tour package. So you got your, say there's the headliner and then with them, usually there's 2 bands that have been brought on, whether or not their labels paid to have them on or whether or not it was just that's how the 3 bands that were picked by the agent.
Or that's like the headliner's best buddies with this band and this band, so they're promoting together.
But yeah, there's usually room for one kind of opener, whether or not you can jump onto like say just the Western Canadian leg, or
Yeah.
whether you can just jump onto your kind of local province, show where there's usually room. So anytime that a tour comes out, me and Murray, like the first minute it comes out, we'll be like, hey, did you see this? And then it's like, send it to, send your to blah,
Yep.
blah, blah, and blah, blah, blah,
contacts
and
going.
put it out. So usually that's how it works, but not always. Sometimes, there would be a band coming through and it hadn't been announced yet. And because we know Xandra from Regina, she's kind of the go-to for Saskatchewan, or we know Corey from Winnipeg, he's the go-to.
Knowing those people,
Or,
right?
Concert Works who have booked us in all of our Alberta shows. That's Tyson. Again, these are all just great people, but they're kind of, if you want to be on those types of shows, those are the people that you need to be in
So it's
contact with.
again another classic. Hey, it's not what you know, it's who you know type of situation.
And ultimately, before we got to play those cool shows, we might have played 10 shows for free, or just $100 kind of guarantee thing. But we put some time and effort building the relationship to get to that point, and you prove that, hey, if you put us on the bill, we're going to be bringing X amount of people, so we're value added, as they would say, to the bill.
I'm learning that's very important in like life as a whole, not just like life in a content creation studio, but life outside of a place like this where you have to oversell everything that you're doing all the time.
Yeah,
and it's weird to me because I've never been an oversell guy. I don't like to be braggadocious. And it's like if people tell me all the time, well, you have to do it. You have to be that way. You have to tell everyone how awesome you are. You have to do it. Yeah.
You have to.
And I always come back with why? And then the answer always is because everyone else does it. That's just how it is.
But the thing is, like, so say like a band like Untimely Demise, you're a great band. You've been around for, a couple decades.
Yeah.
But for value added to a bill, sometimes it might make more sense for Xandra to pick the young, 18-year-old band that they can bring their whole high school to the show, and they're going to they're going to bring 150 people, whereas Untimely might only have their 60, 70, fans that.
That's so weird.
Well, like, you know what I mean, that are specifically going to come out.
They're going to be there.
Generally, when we're opening for a band, there's that cross where, like, if we're opening up for, say, Exodus, or I'm just not that, but like Megadeth or something, those fans are already coming for Megadeth. They might like us and be fans of Untimely Demise, but they were already coming for that band, so it's
They're
not like
there.
we're
You're not adding.
we're not a value added, but it's the people that would have no reason to come to the show other than to see your band. So it's nice to have the younger bands and newer bands, like when Raven Witch did our first show. Like you get your buddies that want to come out and see you the first time and stuff, and it's easier to pack a place the first time as opposed to a decade in where,
where you're established.
Yeah.
Yeah. How's Bring the Storms doing? It's crushing?
It's got momentum. Like, honestly, like I've said this, that's the one thing I've never figured out how to, like, how do you get it heard? How do you get your music heard? Because we're not like, please share it, please like it, please do this. Like, I, don't want to do that. But ultimately, like, it would be sweet if, like, all your buddies are like, hey, man, I'm going to share this or whatever. But, like, you can't expect people to do that, and it's not their job because, But it's tough. Like we get the views, but it's not like you can't get that kind of algorithm magic that we would like.
That's the industry as a whole. Hey, like that's the world as a whole. I guess it's a whole different way of consuming content. So you have to sort of pivot. And that's what we like to say here. Like we're always pivoting and go to where you're supposed to go. I talked to Ugly Kid Joel. Said he sent you guys an email to do an interview on Hometown Rock. Do you guys see that at all?
Okay. I wonder if he said it.
I told him
to Mervs?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
No, Raven. That would be
I don't know anything else. I just told him that the song is a banger.
Okay, sweet.
And I said, get him on Hometown Rock. He says, I sent an email and tried to set up an interview. So
that'll be.
If it didn't get to you guys, we'll set it up.
Nice.
But you're going to get in there, and we'll get you sitting down with him, and he'll push it out on Hometown Rock, and we'll get it rolling on rotation.
That'll be sweet. But yeah, ultimately, it's like this. It's a publisher parish where we just want to keep on putting out the music, and it's nice to have that catalog online. So when, someone says, "Hey, what do you sound like?" or when you are trying, like that was I guess one question that they had asked on the podcast today. They were asking about because for some reason he knew that we had the very first 3 Inches of Blood show we tried to get on to Brant from Amigos. He's the promoter.
Yeah.
And we knew about the show, and Murray asked, hey, can Untimely Demise be on the bill? And he said, sorry, the bill's closed or bill's full or whatever. And we had just recorded this 2-song demo, but it was professionally recorded or whatever. And we're like, okay, at least can we send you these songs? And then like a minute later, he sent back, he's like, all right, you can open the show, you can have $100 and a bar tab. And we're like, sweet, or whatever, this is awesome.
Jackpot.
But yeah, what I was basically having those songs professionally out there, you know, allowed us to get that because you're able to show the promoter this.
Show what you got.
Ultimately, it's like if it doesn't immediately get 10 kajillion views on YouTube or whatever, that's not a fail. It's just it's out there and it's got momentum and people are liking the song.
That's all you can do.
And you want to get to that point where, you know, people are listening to it, and then you have something like how when I was talking about those Alberta shows with Untimely, where that one guy, we were not trending, but lots of people were like, you know, tagging Untimely Demise, and it was like, I've been waiting forever to see Idle Hands live or whatever. And that's what we want for Ravenwitch, is to have, you know, like, oh, I can't believe I got to see, you know, Bring Her the Storms live. So having it on there so people can get addicted to the song or whatever. Yeah.
And that's like, if we can't do anything else, they at least get it on the damn radio.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to do. We're going to set that interview up for you guys. We're going to get that done, and we're going to get you on Hometown Rock, and then I'm going to keep bugging Ugly Kid Joel to see if we can get you in some sort of rotation too.
Oh man,
so
lovely.
Well, the thing is, local band, really kind, generous human beings. Like, you deserve to be heard. That's the thing. Like, there's so much garbage on the radio
and
now.
the thing
Like,
is,
there's room for good stuff.
With Ravenwitch, it's accessible enough where it's not like there's blast beats throughout the whole thing. There is no screaming vocals. Like, the only thing that I would say is somewhat isolating is we always put in those like dual solos, like 3/4
shucks, please don't
where,
make
like,
the guitars sing to me. I'd hate that.
I like the flashy guitar, and I know a lot of people do, but some people don't. And I accept that and realize that's a reality. But we're going to keep doing it, and that's just the nature of Ravenwitch, is it's always going to be a guitar-heavy band.
Absolutely. And the way I look at this is, since you guys are family, we're all in Ravenwitch. We're all in Untimely Demise. Like, we all, like you say it all the time, we rise up. We're not in the business of bringing people down. We're only in the business of bringing people up. That's what we do.
The amount that you have done for our bands over the year, we could do a whole, you know, month of segments of that, just with tour manager Gary, with merch Gary, with those early days when you would bring the flamingos to our shows, and, you know, it would go from like a decent attended show to just a wild show with tons of people there, because you were bringing people there, and then you were getting our music played on the radio. You're name dropping us. You're wearing our shirts. You know, like all this stuff. It's just, that's where a lot of times people know of Untimely Demise or know of Ravenwitch, and they haven't heard the music, but they know of us because of, you know, just we're always being talked about. And ultimately, that's good enough for me. You know, like, a lot of people don't listen to the Misfits but wear Misfit shirts, and it's still, you're still in the public eye, and that's giving you a better chance than if you weren't being talked about.
No, and I appreciate your kindness, and really all that is, honestly, is just me being a fan. And I've always said, if I'm ever in, and I say this on the radio too, I always said, if I'm ever in a situation where I know I can help my friends and I don't take advantage of it, what the hell am I even doing? Why are you even there?
Yeah, you definitely practice what you preach in that department.
And it got us to this point, and this is exactly where we want to be, because we have no one else telling us what to do or how to do it. And God, that feels good.
And we got little Zoom calls with Uncle Mike blessing us from BC. Like, it's just what a gift.
And then he just totally body shamed us without even knowing it, but this beautiful body.
Yeah, like, now I feel like I have to like tighten this. Yeah, like, kind of like,
oh man, I might have to get a haircut or something.
Yeah. Whatever. Don't look at me.
I'm hideous. I'm hideous. God, that boat looks sweet though. Hey, you ever been on a houseboat with a slide like that?
Do I look like someone that has been on a houseboat with a slide like that?
I do, and I haven't either. I want to go on that boat.
No, I've been on a dinghy. I've been on like a little
there.
Intex 2 kind of, we've did some dinghy. I know our the Into Eternity tour where Untimely Demise opened up, because we went out to BC.
Oh yeah.
And we brought a couple of the Intex 2s there, and we were just hitting up the lakes or whatever. It's pretty funny, because I remember we we had first swam in the ocean right in Vancouver, and that's it's
Nice.
pretty greasy.
Yeah.
Like it's bad. But so then we put all of our we put all of our swim trunks in the back seat of the rental van that we had,
yeah.
and then we woke up the next day and it's like plus whatever, almost 30, and those trunks are just baking in the car, and it had that kind of like, sockeye salmon meats, like, kind of, I don't know, like nori seaweed, and like for the rest of the tour, the van smelled like that, and we didn't get dinged like when we sent it back, but I guarantee anyone that ever rented that
They
van,
smelt it. They
that
knew.
they're gonna smell that. They
knew.
know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Had a fish fry in the back.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So yeah, there's that.
That's rough, man.
But yeah,
Yeah.
that's kind of my experience with boating
That's
and ocean life. And
I've never been a big boat guy or a big lake guy, like being out on the
Well,
water.
I
Like
just-
I love just sitting on the beach. I can sit on a beach. I can have a drink. I can do my thing.
I kind of avoid the sun like the plague
Me
a
too.
little bit.
I'm the same.
but-
I was the same way for so long, and then I was like, oh, let's just overcome my fear. And then you go out there, you
Yeah.
put some sunscreen on, you burn anyway. Like
Yeah.
that's why I don't go out.
I would like it, yeah, because last week when I was at work or whatever, and it was those 40 days with
Ugh.
the Humidex, and I've got
Yeah.
my long sleeves, and everyone's like, man, like, what are you doing, man? I'm like, I don't like the sun. Like, I just,
It's not about the heat. It's about saving my body from being
it's
burnt.
100% not wanting to
Oh,
get burnt, and
man.
but yeah, so. I like the water and
Yeah,
I like all that
that's fair.
stuff, but it's just something that hasn't been in the cards and not a high
Man,
priority at this
He
point.
looked like he was very happy with where he
Yeah,
was at.
he's-
He's having a
he's
great
selling
time.
it good,
He's
yeah,
having
like,
a great
yeah.
time. What a lucky guy.
Yeah.
Well, dude, I definitely learned something today. I learned that value add is a word that gets used.
Yes.
I think that's pretty cool. Do you want? Put those in.
Oh, you know what?
You've never been able to play the piano
Are
to the
you
song
kidding
before.
me?
This is going to be epic. Okay. So if you've never seen the show on Tuesdays before, every time Uncle Mike and Matt from all the bands come by, before the show we do our recording for the All Out Angst podcast, new episode dropping in 2 days. That's on Thursday. And then to end each live show, we get Frankie's Fingers. Now, Frankie's Fingers is a song that was given to us from Von Trask from 9/11 Turbo fame. I believe it's his 94-year-old grandpa just sat down at a piano and just started playing. And that's where we got this from. And it's slowly grown into like the coolest sign-off for any show anywhere. To the point where a lot of the promos we run are just these jabronis playing this piano out. And then Matt from all the bands, being Matt from all the bands, decides to step it up. And he's turned it into an actual performance, which is always so fun to be around as he gets ready.
Honestly, kind of said today that I was going to tone it down to try and take over like the mic vibe. But honestly, I don't know what.
You're not classically trained, bro.
Yeah,
Not
well,
like Uncle
it's
Mike.
true,
You know
right?
that.
I know.
You can't be something you're not.
But yeah, well, I guess we'll just see what happens.
I think you just let the music do the speaking. Dragon, here we go. You ready? You hear it? You got it? He's got it. Look at that. Look at him play. Look at this handsome man. Oh, what a show. Thank you to everyone who stopped by today, be it to watch or to hang out. Thank you to the birthday boy, Louie. We didn't even get an age on him. Not sure what he's turning, but he's got a big baseball game. Hopefully he gets the big birthday win as he heads out. Also, a big thank you to Jacoby stopping by as well, making their debuts. What's that, buddy? 10. Oh, he's turned 10. There you go, 10 years old. Well, thank you very much, you guys. So Louie's turning 10. That's very exciting. His older brother, Kobe, making their debut on your show. That was very cool to see. As well, Coach Mays bringing them by. Thank you to him. We had Uncle Brando here for a bit, hanging out. We got Matt from all the bands, lovely wife Erin here, as she always joins us. Thank you to you for always being so kind. Network Ryan's here somewhere, probably ruining someone's day, doing something mean to someone. We still thank him though, because he does a lot of good work around here. So thank you to him. Who else? Who else stopped by today? We had our buddy Summer stop by. Took Marge for a walk. That was very nice. Very grateful for her. And yeah, I think that's pretty much. Royal Anders. Royal Anders is here somewhere too. We're gonna go check in with him, as we haven't visited in a long time. So we will do that. In the meantime, you have yourself an amazing, fantastic rest of your Tuesday. It's too much, man. You're so good. You're so good. I'm trying to stay this straight. It is so hard because you're so in the zone. Thank you to this guy, Matt from all the bands. Every Tuesday. Check out the All Out Angst podcast. New episode dropping on Thursday. till we're back tomorrow. We will miss you. Yes, you so much. Thank you to Mom and Dad for watching again. I always appreciate those 2 views that we get on the live feed. It's very kind. And yeah, I just want to watch you take this home, buddy. You take her home. There he goes. Yes. Don't forget, karma is very, very real. Do good things. You'll start noticing that good things start happening to you. That's how the world works, and that's how we make it a better place. So that's all. Stop caring about ourselves and start caring about others, all right? That's our little lesson to take home from today. You did great, buddy. Have a great rest of your Tuesday.
Those